Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory. Going to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles. Great millstone salutation to your occupants out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going out on the streets teaching and preaching. All right. Also by way of the internet, I got a news update, so I'm just going to start playing them.
Goofy alert, this is how robots take over. Saying please and thank you to ChatGPT is costing millions in electricity. They want us to stop. Don't scroll, let me explain. As you guys know, more and more people are using AI for questions and answers to their daily issues. Well, 70% of Americans keep saying please and thank you to the AI, which costs a lot of electricity.
Get this other one, my bad, y'all. It's a specific one I wanted to get. Oh, here we go.
Why would anybody do this on Easter and to children? This lady sent Easter eggs to her ex's new family with in the Easter eggs. They have video of her buying them at the grocery store. When they ate them, the 7-year-old boy instantly got sick and is unalived. The mother and the daughter are in the hospital in critical condition, folks. Critical condition. I guess the ex was jealous and sent these eggs and said with love with the name on them. They got the eggs thinking it's Easter and they ate the eggs, folks. Again, 7-year-old, unalived, mother and daughter in critical condition. This world never seems to surprise me with the evil in it. Praying for everybody involved here. Unbelievable, people. Unbelievable.
Did you? I'm not even fucking done. Fucking three German students were on a fucking world tour traveling and they didn't have a hotel booked in Hawaii, so ICE detained them, put them in fucking jumpsuits, and sent them the fuck back to Germany. What the fuck is happening?
Oh, Zelensky, you absolute fucking gift that keeps on giving. So Ukraine's Zelensky has claimed that the Russian army has violated Vladimir Putin's Easter truce 2,935 times.
Oh yeah, I want to say this too. This is for fair use, for educational purposes only.
Judging by this picture, I'm surprised he can count past 10. Does he think he's on the phone to Donald Trump with no fucking phone? Despite these wild claims of almost 3,000 violations, Zelensky said no air raid sirens rang out in Ukraine on Easter Sunday. So there's missiles flying, there's supposed to be a truce, but we're gonna let the sirens have the day off. I mean, is this what this means? I'm constantly torn between who is the most dangerous person on the planet. Zelensky, Prime Minister Rodney. Zelensky, Rodney. I can't fucking make my mind up. I mean, I'm probably going to get some stick for this. I'll probably have to lean towards more Zelensky. I mean, look at the look in his eye. He thinks he's on his fucking mobile phone when he's not the fucker. For fuck's sake.
Breaking fuck the news, and if I haven't said enough bullshit today, everybody, if you haven't seen the shit I've been talking about, the Secret Service can't even stop the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security's purse from getting stolen with thousands of dollars in the nation's capital. Congratulations, you have single-handedly voted the most incompetent administration I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I would rather deal with a sleepy Joe Biden. Guess what didn't happen to Joe? He didn't get popped in the ear. He didn't get something stolen. His wife didn't get her purse stolen. We didn't have fucking security leaks. But Hunter Biden's emails. We weren't talking about fucking military strikes and group chats with the guys. Fuck. I'm tired of yelling. Because the shit don't make no fuck-ass sense.
Pope Francis's last words, final public remarks, focused on this theme How much contempt is stirred up at times toward the vulnerable, the marginalized, and migrants, Francis wrote in a papal address delivered on Easter Sunday yesterday by a Vatican aide to the crowds gathered in St. Peter's Square. And here we are, you on, I guess, just back now from El Salvador, dealing with the issue of just one of the many people who have been forcibly removed, disappeared. I mean, some might even see it as a kidnapping. It's definitely not a deportation. Where does the plight of Kilmar Abrego Garcia stand now?
Well, you're very right. I read Pope Francis's remarks. He was a beautiful soul, a pope for all of humanity, and he focused on the most vulnerable and on natural rights, on the right of everybody to be free under the law. And the whole point here that we're making is that the Trump administration needs to respect the Constitution of the United States. When you threaten the rights of one man like Abrego Garcia, take away the rights of one man like Abrego Garcia, you threaten the rights for everybody. In this case, the Trump administration is flouting the law because the Supreme Court on a 9-0 ruling said that they had to facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia. I was just down there, as you said. I met with him. The embassy, the Trump administration is doing nothing right now to comply with that court order. What they're doing is trying to change the subject, as if you can't comply with the Constitution and fight gang violence. I've been fighting MS-13 longer than Donald Trump probably ever uttered the words. I put together an anti-gang task force in this Washington region, Maryland, Washington, Virginia. So the notion that fighting gangs requires that you shred the Constitution and deny people's rights is just the dangerous spin that Donald Trump is putting on all this.
Well, breaking fuck the news. Today already hasn't been eventful for you. 4 senators are currently traveling to El Salvador to check for more signs of life for Kilmar Abrego Garcia after House Republicans told them they can't do that. It seems like to me the Democrats are using the Republican strategy of saying, nah, we ain't listening. If they can, basically what's going on right now is I think the Democrats have finally realized we can say no. Like, that's an option. Like, we won't go to jail for saying, once they realized that fucking lawmakers can ignore the Supreme Court, the president can ignore the Supreme Court, the House Democrats said, okay, bitch, we finna do the same motherfucking thing. And they are currently traveling to El Salvador after they got told they can't do that. Boom.
Nope, I don't believe it. Goofy alert. So a woman is now suing Shannon Sharpe for $50 million, alleging that he SA'd her for over 2 years. Y'all gonna have to cancel me because I'm not believing this one, bro. She claims that from 2024 to the early 2025, she was messing with Shannon Sharpe and that he would do unspeakable things every time she linked up to go on a date or vacation with him. So you're telling me he would do these things, and you kept going back repeatedly, and then you don't want to report this to the cops. You just want $50 million in a civil suit. Not to mention, your lawyer is a well-known extortion lawyer, allegedly, because how many celebrities have called him out for false accusations that he is willing to spin a story just to make a check? Like, literally, now you don't want him arrested. You don't want him in jail. You just want him to pay $50 million to you. After he just is about to sign a brand new podcast deal, too. Come on, bro. I'm not falling for it, bro. Y'all not making me fall for this one, bro. Nope.
Breaking, the U.S. will begin debt collection on student loans for the more than 5.3 million people in default. And if you
Reason why I skipped that because I got a better video than that one.
Breaking news, just into Action News after weeks of back and forth and uncertainty. It's official. Crozier Health is shutting down. This comes after months of hearings and proposals to save the health system. In a statement received just moments ago, Prospect Medical Holdings announced it will begin the process of winding down Crozier Health and all its operations. The statement did not offer a timeline for a firm shutdown, but did indicate there is a plan in place for patients to be transitioned to other health systems. There's no word on what will happen to Crozier employees. Stay with Action News for the latest as more information on this story continues to develop.
Yup, told y'all false allegations. Shannon Sharpe has just dropped proof showing that the woman is capping for money. Pause to read yourself, and pause to read yourself. I'm gonna give a summary for y'all don't like to read. Come to find out, Shotty freakier than my name. All the stuff she claims Shannon Sharpe did to her, she was asking for that through text. Come to find out she like black dudes. He cut it off after she started trying to get $25K per link up. After he cut her off in January and she found out about his new $1 million deal, she tried to sue for 50 mil. It must be that Michelle girl we heard on live. Shannon, you innocent, but I gotta tell you, bro, what type of demons you be having in your DMs? If what I read was crazy, knowing that she didn't go to the police, they would have found out she was capping and trying to sell it and go to jail. I ain't gonna lie, all these executive orders Trump be signing, you need to sign an executive order to lock shotties up that do stuff like this, bro. Like, and I didn't even get to talk about the Drewski stuff here. I gotta talk about that a little later. But what do you guys think about this whole situation? Shannon, bro, just be alone, bro. Stop messing with these girls, bro. wait, that sound crazy. Look, this, I don't even know. Do what you like.
I thought she said Rust-Oleum spray paint. Which is an just what you can disregard EMS, the individual is going to be injured. She's actually headed to the hospital anyway. We've got some appointments. I'll follow her there after this. She seems for. So you can
More and more people are now moving back home with their parents in order to save money. Realtor.com surveyed people who plan to buy a home in the next year. They found 29% of people surveyed already moved back. Another 22% would consider moving back home with their parents. And more people are now moving back home with their
All schools in England have moved one step closer to going on a national strike. Here we go, more strikes, which would essentially affect every single parent in England. Great. Again, this comes down to the Labour government causing all of this, literally again. So our wonderful Labour government here in the UK has recommended a 2.8 pay rise for teachers, but however it expects that most schools will need to make efficiencies to fund it for themselves. Absolutely astonishing. Why don't the MPs make more efficiencies in Parliament to fund their pay rises? No, they can fall asleep in Parliament and they get their pay rise still. National Education Union, England's largest teaching union, says it will hold a formal ballot if the offer remains unacceptable or if no extra funding is announced. If the union does decide to launch a ballot, which it looks very highly likely they're going to, the ballot could stay open for several months, meaning any strike action would likely take place in the autumn term at the earliest. It's just astonishing, isn't it? You know, bin men, teachers, or train drivers and MPs. Train drivers and MPs get their payouts, their pay rises, lucrative bonuses, overtime bonuses. No questions asked. You can fall asleep on the job if you want. Teachers, bin men, dealing with your kids, looking after your kids, bin men, literally clearing up your shit. Nah, you're not getting any pay rise. You can squabble over it. Welcome to the UK under the Labour government, for fuck's sake.
Did you hear about the 40,000 Chinese students that are going to be deported back to China? So in case you didn't know, for years, China has refused to take back all of their citizens that enter the United States illegally. And each one of those 40,000 individuals that I mentioned earlier had received deportation efforts, and China still refused to take them back. That meant that for years, thousands of Chinese nationals have been walking in the United States freely. Did you hear about the 40,000 Chinese students that are going to be deported back to China?
The Education Department said today, beginning May 5th, it will resume collections on borrowers who've defaulted on their student loans. The New York Times reports that around 4 million people have been reported to credit bureaus this year for late student loan payments. And by one estimate, that will climb to 9 million people by the end of June. Education Secretary Linda McMahon wrote in the Wall Street Journal that some borrowers may see their wages automatically withheld.
Time is up. The Philadelphia Parking Authority will begin issuing tickets today for its new smart loading zones. The grace period has expired. This high-tech initiative aims to tackle dangerous, wasteful, and downright annoying gridlock in Center City. If you want to park in certain loading zones in the heart of the business district, you will now have to pay up. The area runs from 12th to 20th Street along Walnut, Sansom, and Chestnut Streets. Cameras have been installed at 22 locations in that box, encompassing about 187 spaces. Those cameras will keep an eye on the spots and automatically bill drivers. You'll need to register for a Curb Pass account if you want to park inside these locations. There's a QR code on the sign. Vehicles will be charged 10 cents per minute for a maximum stay of up to an hour. But if you are not registered, vehicles will now be fined $51 after 3 minutes. Anyone double parked will get a $76 fine.
We're also following a scary incident at Orlando International Airport in Florida. That is where a Delta Airlines flight experienced an engine fire just moments before a scheduled takeoff earlier today. According to the airport, 282 passengers were on board. Some of them had to evacuate using the plane's emergency slides. Police are now on the scene investigating. We're also following a